Nothing you've ever seen.
I am Dracula.
Nothing you've ever experienced. Nothing you've ever imagined.
Yes, my love.
Can prepare you for what's coming. Dracula. At theaters Friday the 13th of November.
Vincent Canby of the New York Times says Dracula is a testimonial to the glories of filmmaking. The Washington Post says Francis Ford Coppola is a visionary entertainer and miracle worker. Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins are sensational. Winona Ryder is irresistible. This is a visually spectacular, wildly romantic masterpiece. Yeah! Bram Stoker's Dracula at theaters now.
Critics are saying dazzling, romantic, alluring, classic, unforgettable, lavish, astonishing.
I am Dracula.
Words can persuade you, but nothing can prepare you. Bram Stoker's Dracula, a Francis Ford Coppola film. Rated R. At theaters now.
I know where the bastard sleeps. Welcome, everyone. What are we watching? Dracula. Now, let's press play because it's a bloody long film, over 2 hours, and see who's here. Freddie, tell him, Freddie, I sent you. Are you back? That was earlier this evening. Dr. Possible, welcome. Yes, no Mel Brooks tonight then. No, Dracula is undead and loving it in this. Greetings, Andy. Puggle. What sweet watch parties we make. Yes, indeed. So, Michael Heroic Waffles is here. Hope you are well, man. I'm good. Hope you're doing good. I saw this at the cinema. Oh, in 2022. I myself saw this back this week, 32 years ago. And I loved it. Still love it now. Good evening. Love this film. Sean loves it too. Welcome, Sean. The night that the reindeer died. Voiceover guy, yes. No, I think it's Orion 2, his channel. He's got an AI replication device synthesizer of the man's voice, so he can make him say whatever he wants, which is very clever. What a wonderfully over-the-top gothic horror. Well, there you go, Ian. You've seen this one, or are you just reading what you've set in IMDb? There you go. I was going to bring that up, but Sean's got there already. Was this and the remake of the last two good Coppola films? Well, this back piece of nonsense, which isn't in the book, apparently. Let's see what Coppola's done. See if you can name any of these films he's made in the last 30 years. So you've seen it. Well, Megaopolis, which has just come out. It's a short, producer, executive producer, ignore the only directors. So yeah, it's going back a bit. Director, there we go. Right. So he writes and directs much of it's not right. Twixt. I sort of remember it. What's it called? I just jumped to producer again. This website sucks. But it doesn't help he's made so many bloody films. Right. Director, Twixt. Megaropolis, Twixt. Now and Sunrise. I didn't know it was a sequel. Distant Vision. Never heard of it. Twixt. Think I may have heard of it. Tetro. Youth Without Youth. Uncredited as Supernova director. The Rainmaker, 97. Jack, 96. And this in 92. So, has anyone seen any of those? Have we watched Dracula Dead and Loving It? Oh, here we go. Those fiendish Turks. I've done a false note to Elizabetha, and she's taking a header. I would have rented this in 93. I was 10. Even then, Keanu's accent was the pits. Poor Keanu. That's all that people remember this for is Keanu's accent. Hence my hairstyle tonight in his honor. But he was coming off the back of about 5 films. He said he was knackered and he just couldn't be bothered. Why? He just ran out of steam, I'm going to say, not rather couldn't be bothered. Bless him. Written by James V. Hart, who went on to write Hook for Spielberg. Gary Oldman, before he was really famous in America. Anthony Hopkins, after he won the Oscar for Silence of the Lambs, like Keanu Reeves, which means cool. I think in Hawaiian or whatever it is. But he was doing, what was he doing? Way back when? 98, 89. Where are we? Dracula was 92. He was in Paul Abdul's Rush Rush video. My Own Private Idaho in 91. Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey in 91. Point Break in 91. Providence in 91. So yeah, he had 4 films in 1 year. So he was a bit busy. Hey, Jim, how are you? The Simpsons spoof. Yes, their Halloween special of this is one of the funniest, still one of the funniest things ever. You are incorrect. Indeed correct. Oh, look, the subtitles built in on the old VHS. And it would help if I'd started my copy so I know what's happening. Gone. Now, apparently, Gary Oldman's scream here is not his when he stabs the old cross. It's some punk singer. Blood is Life. He made Jack with Robin Williams. Yeah, it's not a great film. It's a very sad film. One of those. It's funny to see Robin Williams acting as a 10-year-old in a 40-year-old's body, but then it takes a turn at the end. No spoilers. I've got a love-hate relationship with this film. I think I mostly hate it. That's a tricky one, isn't it? It's completely over the top. So, yeah. And like his armor, his hair, his everything about Dracula in this is ridiculous. But it's probably still better than the Dracula we got in Blade Trinity. Megaopolis still hasn't been released on streaming yet. I guess he's still hanging on to getting it in theaters. This is probably my favorite Dracula movie, despite Keanu Reeves being miscast. Yeah, Mike Barrett is correct. Well, originally they wanted Johnny Depp, but he wasn't mainstream enough for the company, so they wanted a teen heartthrob to get the girls in to watch it. Damn, this film is gorgeous. It is, even on this shitty VHS. It certainly glows, doesn't it? Looking at it. And then the score is just phenomenal. I love the score. So I have it. Got my collection here. So got my CD. I can't even pronounce his name. Wojak Killer. The rapper. And I've got the script making of here. So just in case we get lost and the VHS goes off. Although I've got the widescreen VHS just in case, but it will look shockingly tiny on that screen. Can we all agree that the soundtrack is amazing? Yes, Annie Lennox's song plays over there in the credits, which is... I always forget it's on here until I get to the end, and there's a nice pleasant surprise. What's it called? Something for the Vampire, isn't it? I was going to say Sympathy for the Vampire, but it's not. It's Love Song for a Vampire. Yeah. So yeah, back when I think she wrote it and sang it. Then there's was it Tom Waits, the singer, is Renfield. Bit of a bigger part than what was in the book. Tell him Freddie sent you is back. Hey Lou, welcome. The soundtrack is the best part. I will agree with that. That massive bombastic soundtrack is not in this film. It's very little film. This is now. There's only one optical effect which was added later, and that's the blue flames for the castle gates, which symbolizes treasure or stuff in the book or something. But they never just say what it is in this. Everything else is practical in camera. So there is cuts and there is like forced perspective and matte paintings and all that, but everything was done on film. And there's the lovely Winona Ryder. Such a crush. I had pictures of her on the wall. And she wears a scantily clad nightgown here. Really remember liking Jack when it first came out. Yeah, I saw it in the cinema when it came out, but then I don't think I've seen it since. Visually, I think it's splendid too. Yes, look at this. Now, there's a little story here with the peacock feathers coming down. Want to know how I got these scars? Well, I do have some scars, so you can't really pick them up on this thing. But when I was about 5 years old, I was attacked by a peacock. And he jumped on me and pecked at my face. But it was all my fault because I used to tease the bastard so much, like pull his tail feathers out and stuff like that. So he snapped. Not me. Oh, Gary Oldman is my favorite actor to play Dracula. Well, there's at least 50, isn't there? So here we go, John Harker's journal, because in the book, which I have here in my coffin box set, it's 10 a penny to get these, but not all of them are as good condition as this. But another VHS. A book. It's a book. I read the book back when this film came out. I had a hardback faux antique looking one, but then there's a little badge pin there. Yeah, I bought that. Well, I bought one similar to that from a car boot in Swansea about 30 years ago. And of course, sold it with all my VHS and got it back a few years ago. £10, I think that cost me. I know. Jack really wasn't awful as people said it was. But then, I haven't seen it since the 90s. I think Robin Williams is fun. It's just a sad film for the subject matter. Francis Ford Coppola might as well put his own name above Dracula. Bram Stoker did really get a thorough look in, but I do like the music by Killer. Yeah, unfortunately, he passed away about 20 years ago. But Coppola, yes. Coppola's done 3 book adaptations I can think of. Godfather, of course. It's called Mario Puzo's Godfather, isn't it? And then this is called Bram Stoker's Dracula. And then the Rainmaker is not Michael Crichton, the other guy. John Grissom's Rainmaker. So he likes to leave the name of the people who wrote the book as a bit of a draw for the people. I guess when The Godfather came out, no one knew who he was. Because I saw he was executive producer. I am going to go through early works before they were famous of directors like Martin Scorsese, Brian De Palma, and Francis Ford Coppola. I went to watch The Terror, but it was directed by Roger Corman, and Francis Ford Coppola only produced it, so I didn't bother with that yet. I went to watch Dementia 13, which he did direct, for Corman, I believe, but then I thought I'd not long seen it, so I didn't bother with that. Love the look and the sound of the film, just hate it. Yeah. Maybe if you just watch it on mute and then play the soundtrack, you'll be all right. Interesting that Coppola went back to Winona after she bailed on Godfather Part 3. Yes, because she was another one that was exhausted of work when she came to do The Godfather Part 3. Left him in the lurch. He got his daughter, and now that's what the film is famous for. Is Sofia Coppola, who's now a director, bad acting. But to make amends, she took in the screenplay for this and said, would he like to do it? And then he didn't want to have enemies, and then thought it was a good idea, and hence we get the film. Now, apparently, Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman didn't get on making this film because, well, we'll get to it later, but she was all young and serious, and he was in being method and creepy and keeping away from everyone, which didn't help. I've seen bits of this before. I'm watching it probably for the first night in my VHS combi unit. I think you might miss out on some of the stuff, yeah. But, yeah, in the book, Dracula is the coach guy as well, isn't he? But in this, he's all armored up, so you can't see him. And then we get to the start of the silliness with his wig. I really like this film overall. I still think the visuals with the shadows are really cool, and Gary Oldman is awesome. The soundtrack is also great. Yeah, it is. I do like the shadows, as ridiculous as they get when it's a shadow trying to strangle him later. Then we get Monica Bellucci's first role as well. She pops up literally later and pops them out, sorry. There's, yeah, I've been into films for 40 years. I feel I can count on one hand how many times an accent has been pissed up in a film. Well, yes. This one, isn't it? Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins is always slated. Welcome to my home. Now, one of the vampire brides is actually from the neck of the woods of Transylvania, and then she coached people from who appear in the film, like Gary Oldman, on their accents. That's why. And I bid you welcome, Mr. Harker, to my house. Come in. So this is a bit of a weird one. I don't know if it's because he doesn't need to be invited into anywhere, but then he makes this big thing about inviting Harker in. But they got the big robe and he got the big hair because it was a Japanese costume designer, a production designer on this. Hence that sort of symbolism. Yes, there you go. It wasn't the Keanu Reeves supposed to be Depp. Yes, Depp wasn't hip enough or big enough name for some reason. I have heard the 4K of this is lovely. I should actually watch it in 4K one day. I bet it looks amazing. Yes, is the short answer. One of the many copies of it. The widescreen isn't. It's just a white case. But I don't think it's been swapped out. I don't know if this is going to show up. There you go. There it is. Dracula. And then tape indentations. But there we go. Pledging my forefathers. So that picture behind them is based on a real picture. It's only Gary Oldman's face they've put onto it to make it look like an ancestor. There you go. The movie is gorgeous in 4K. This looks great for a VHS. You cheeky. Oh, it's not a nice rental for a start. But yes, considering some of the films I put on here, you can't see what's happening. And this is a dark scene and all. It is no laughing matter. We Draculs have the right to be proud. You'll resist repeating Alan Partridge's description of Annie Lennox. Oh, I'm way behind. Right, speaking of vampires, can't wait for Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Early reactions are very positive. Yeah, it's like, I'm curious. I've never liked anything Eggers has done, really. The Vavitch is pretty good, but that's about it. Talking CD movies, I saw the CD to Twisters in HV, and for some reason, it's on 2 CDs. Nice. Probably about 30 quid as well. Oh, back off. Winona is mine. No, I would still have her. I'm the one that went. Actually, I went to the Age of Innocence Royal Premiere in London to see her, but none of the cast or directors turned up. It was just Miriam McGowell's. So I was very unhappy, but I did get to walk the red carpet into Leicester Square Cinema, and there were some TV celebs at the time there. Keanu's hair is like he's in a shampoo commercial. Yeah. Although I think they use talcum powder like me to make it white later on, and then it goes in and out as well. Tom Waits had a history copy. There you go. He had the soundtrack from One from the Heart, another great soundtrack, and I think he was in Rumblefish 2, if I remember rightly. Yes. I think you weren't correct. And then, here you go. Here's the first bit where the shadow goes. Now, the map on the back shows red dots where his properties are being put. Now, this is before he knows about Mina being his long-lost love. So he was planning on living in London, and the red dots would where they were just, he buys a house, packs his dirt, and then he just has places to live. They got the hairy hands, which apparently is in the book. It's completely ridiculous. A man of good taste. Has the VCR had head clean? That's a bug of the head clean. It won't take the fabricy paper tapes that clean it. Choose them up. I've been lucky so far. It's all right. Yes, didn't Winona and Keanu did get technically married. There's a 99% of this film was shot on a soundstage at MGM Studios, I think it was. And then the only bit that was outside was the church. They had to reshoot the church scene, and they used a real Orthodox vicar. And then he just did, of course, the full service, as it were. And apparently, yeah, didn't tell anyone that technically they are married. I think they've done a film since, a romantic comedy from about 5-10 years ago now. Don't be disrespectful to Peacocks, the breed animal, not the chain of clothes shops. Yes, we have a Peacocks in Western Superman for a budget chain. It's fucking extortionate. I think Almond's my favorite because of the vision. Versus a lot tragic and isn't completely evil, and you do feel sorry for him. Yes, he does get his redemption at the end, and it was okay. Pop quiz, hot shots. How many times, or how many characters are such as Anthony Hopkins play in this film? Who wouldn't want to be a Winona Ryder? Back off, man. Back off, war child. Seriously. That's true, man. Yes, it is true. Peacock's is a fine shop filled with exquisite top brand items. Maybe not the same one I go to then. I only been in it once. And then I thought, fuck that. Winona has aged pretty well. She looked good in Beetlejuice. Yes, she did. Winona Ryder brought Dracula to Coppola because she dropped out of Godfather 3 and she felt awful. I wanted to work with him. Exactly. The better way of putting it than I did. Dr. Impossible. Michael Ballhaus. Cinematography is decent in this film. He certainly knew how to light confined sets. Balu said it was 10 weeks of pre-production for this film. Yes. Well, when they got the cast together, they had a read of the book, a group read of the book, and that took 2 days. So yes, they were going in, and every scene was storyboarded with drawings. so they knew exactly what they were going to do and how they were going to do it. Originally, the special effects team they had were they kept saying you can't do this like that, you can't do it because Coppola wanted to do everything old school, as if this was made in like the hundreds. And then they said, yeah, you can just do it with CGI and all this shit. And he said, no, I'm going to kick them out. And then got his son to do it. And there's a lot of Coppolas in the old credits at the end. We'll find out. Yes, Apocalypse Now was kind of based on a novella too. Yeah, it's funny how he didn't name that, but I guess, like he says, a novella rather than a big book. And how many versions of that have we had? So apparently, Coppola's films, he hadn't had a hit in years, and his Zoetrope company was in trouble. And then, luckily, this was a hit because it was, I think, where does it say? If I could, well, it's good for him first. Now it's on that page. Right. Director, he was, where would he get from? Let's see what his 80s was like. So, Apocalypse Now was 70s, 79. One from the Heart, which was 81. Then Outsiders, 83. Rumblefish, 83. Cotton Club, 84, which I think was a big bomb. Captain, oh, it's short. Peggy Sue Got Married with his, was it nephew, Nicolas Cage. Gardens of Stone in 87. Tucker, Man's Dream, 88. Segment of New York Stories, Godfather 3 in 90. And then this. So, yes, pretty much all of those didn't make money. So, he was up to his eyeballs in debt. And then we get the Ravenous Redhead. So this had a big budget for the time, $40 million, and it made 215 worldwide. That's just on cinema. Then you got X-Rental and sell-through and streaming, Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs. And then, of course, the house there is a model. Then we get the Rocketeer himself, a Texan, who isn't, I think, is it him? Yeah, I think it's him that's not in the books much, or any other film. They just combine the characters. So there's Sadie Frost. Now, who was Jude Law? Was she married to? Billy Campbell, there you go, from the Rocketeer, is in this as the Texan. Not keen on Coppola, as he's apparently a good friend of another director I won't mention the name of, but great. Doesn't narrow it down, though. Oh, maybe it does. Also, talking to shops, I went into the game today and asked if they had a physical release of that 8-bit looking platform game, and they said, you can get it from Amazon. Well, there you go. Hence, they closed down here about 5 years ago. And then, so there's Jack Seawood, which is Richard E. Grant, because Coppola saw him in With Nail and I, and then trips over a bear or a skin rug. And then we get Lord Homeland, who's Carrie Elways, or Robin Hood, or because he was in Princess Bride as well. When I look at that CCTV footage. Yeah. Actresses today would kill for that type of attention she got for just picking up a... There you go, I thought so. Yes. Well, as we don't talk about that. He's friends with George Lucas, that's the one. This is similar to Megalopolis. As far as Coppola fired the original effects crew, he wanted to look more quaint, but the FX trying to push the boat out with the flash. I say exactly. See, if I read the fucking comments, I'd be on time. Super fun, happy slide. One of my teachers showed us the big with the shadows in class. Oh, the bit with the shadows in class. They was laughing how terrible it was. Yeah, little bastards. Dude, that's his crotch. The great special effects and theatrical is what make it interesting. Yes, I do. I think it's what it doesn't age it. It can look silly, but if you're off with the film, it's all right. Yeah, I also like the unreal look, and the effects reminds me of the piece of theatre. The shadow puppets, yes. The shadow puppets, we get, which we'll see again later. And then the fade out, and then something comes in, and all the business. They did it very well, and doesn't age the film. Ooh, nice. Depp had a reputation in the 90s of only doing indie movies. It took him about a decade to sell out, and now he's got hundreds of millions. Well, he did that. What's the best film to watch? To see Winona Ryder asking for a friend. I don't think you see her in anything. I might be wrong. There was an advert in a magazine years ago, or an interview, I think, where her tits around. But I can't remember if actually she's done any nude scenes. I think there's one, but I can't think what it is. One thing I'll say about Coppola is he helped Michael Powell, the British film director, out. Powell's one half of the Pressburger Powell setup. Excellent. And then they've got the asylum, where people wear baskets, well, cages on their heads to protect them. Who decided to do his hair like that? Seriously, yes. It was the production designer. But Coppola signed off, I guess. And then he's eating bugs, and he says they're very nutritious, which is what people are trying to get people to do now, eat bugs. Tim Burton is, yes, with Monica Bellucci, the lucky sod. So he's been doing all right, hasn't he, that Tim Burton with ladies? If you saw him with that hairness, you'd look like Mickey Mouse. I always remember this was the film where they sent letters to projectionists to tell them what setting to use. That, I can't believe, with Coppola. A kitten. Hairy palms. We don't know what causes that. No idea what you mean there. I don't know why, but I find it amazing that Gary Oldman's sister is in EastEnders. I did hear that. Be good to get him on there. Don't think I've ever seen her get him out in that thing. There you go. Is it bizarre? They also worked together on A Scanner Darkly. Wow, that is true. They wrote a script film. Just playing around on tape in a video is way better than using a head cleaner. That's what I do, you see. You got all these people that are, oh, it's a moldy tape, I'm not buying it. But where is it? This week's watch party was on Sunday. The return to the same slot. I got it for £2 because he said it was faulty because it had a speck of mold on it. Bargain. Ran it through a few times. It plays fine. Isn't his sister Big Mo? There you go. James Rolfe's video about... Well, I did see the James Rolfe video on the most faithful Dracula. It's one of my favorite YouTube videos. It was a very good one. He is good. I think he's lost his steam recently, hasn't he, when he sold his channel. Not as popular as he once was. But yeah, I think... Didn't he say, was it the BBC version, the TV movie? Or TV miniseries? I can't remember what it was. Was a good one. I always run the tape. I don't care about it. Yeah, it usually clears it up. See? Great minds. But that's exactly how I did it. Always done it like that. Always laugh when he trips over here. Yeah. One of the Blu-ray extras, a couple of talks about how this film saved his vineyard. There you go. Without this film, there would clearly be no Megapolis. Yes, he's done it again, hasn't he? You bet on a... What was the budget on that? It's over 100 million, though, wasn't it? There you go. Watch, I guess if they made this, it would be as well. A foul bauble of man's vanity. When he makes the mirror explode just because he's on it. Yes, I think Interview with Vampire came out after this. There was a early 90s had a big run of vampire films. It does say here somewhere. But as usual, there's about 1,000 fucking trivia that are pointless just to get through. I think was it Buffy the Vampire was one. Rainmaker, we've done the Zucchini story coming up soon. So who does the characters? Oh, the 3 parts that Anthony Hopkins plays in this. If I search the word vampire, it's going to find 100, isn't it? I don't know, 26. Let's do this quick. There was, so yeah, Antonio Banderas was wanted, a big load of cast. It's dead air for the DJ. And Elena, right, here we go. Oh no, this is Vampires with the Coppola Family, Vampire's Kiss. Right, here we go. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Innocent Blood, Interview with the Vampire, which was 94, Vampire in Brooklyn, From Dusk Till Dawn, Night Flyer, Blade, and Vampires for the 90s. Sadie Frost was married to Gary Kemp of Spandau Ballet before due date. Thank you. But she only gets one tit, her left tit out in this for the about 5 times. And apparently, because this was before the Shaven Ravers, they sent a hairstylist to her to check her out. She says, "No, it's all right. I'll do my own hair." But then they said, "No, not the hair on your head. and then because of the stuff she was going to be wearing, they wanted her strategically shaved because she was all natural, apparently. Oh yes, was it Shopping? Yeah, that was it. Sadie and Jude was in that Ram raiding film. I never watched it, but I think the director of that went on to do other big stuff, didn't he? Right, so Harker's imprisoned. Poor bastard has to spend all his time with a naked Monica Bellucci and 2 other fit babes. Apparently all the brides are voiced by the same actress, who isn't playing one of them, I don't think. And found out recently, disappointing to say the release. Universal New Horror Park looks interesting, featuring Universal monsters. Looks interesting. Will it get the kids in? Because they don't have a fucking clue who they are. But I think aiming for kids is the wrong market anyway, because they don't care about films, sex, drinking. So I don't know what they're doing for their college years. I know Coppola liked John Carradine's performance as a Dracula. Interesting choice by Coppola. Yes, indeed. So there's one of the effects where Coppola said, when you're around vampires, they change the rules of reality. So that's why we have rats running across the roof, drips going up, shadows going rogue. Yeah, he opens the bottle and the drip goes boop. But he's just wandering around. Apparently can't find the front door. Hey, there's Larry. Great film. See? Mostly positive. I don't think we've had any naysayers tonight yet. The director Mars was talking about is a lot less talented than Plug. Oh, okay. I might be just like that, but those shadows gave me. Yeah, I think it is because you never really see shadows off on their own unless it's like Peter Pan or something. There you go. So they have to get a magician in to work this set on how, or illusionist, I should say, to do how it all works. There's a lot of backward reverse shots in this. I still want to know how they do the footsteps in the mist. But yes. Lay back, Jonathan. Hey, Professor's here. Greetings and salutations, Professor. Polanski at least made some great movies. He did, I think, Wojak Killer, whatever his name is, did the Ninth Gate soundtrack. I might be wrong. So Gareth is going to do a bunch of cutaways. Once the sexy redhead is married with Jude Law literally pops out. Well, there you go. There's some tits there. So enjoy. But it's only Monica Bloody Bellucci in her first US role, because I think Sadie Frost gets an introducing film credit in this, but she's made 6 films before this one. Or this is her 6th film. Now, there's a lot of, they seem to make the cross disappear, so they're that powerful. They make it melt, but then it's Monica Bellucci. But then she seems to bite him on the dick in one shot, but then the next bit, it shows him with his trousers on and his shirt on, even though they've already undressed him, writhing while they're invisible to the mirror on the roof. Who was the guy in the cell, played by, again, my mind's working on Tom Waits, the singer. The deep voice singer who's in Mystery Men. He made the non-lethal weapons. There you go. Here come the vampires. And snakes in her hair. Just got buzzed by Mozzie. There you go. So she takes his belt off, goes and then bites down, and he goes up and over. Like, there you go. See, and you think, and then it just cuts to him moving, and he's fine. Oh, this bit apparently was cut in the US release and then put back in the European release and DVDs, where his nipples squirting blood gets me every time. Tom Waits go. Sorry. Richie Grant, underrated actor indeed. This was it Swazi boy? Makes Hudson Hawk great. How dare you touch him? He belongs to me. Richie Grant was on a roll, yes. LA Story, Hudson Hawk. This. No, that's said Spice World. Yes. You got to do something for the money. Hudson Hawk and Spice World his proudest achievements, I'm sure. I think I have tried to contact him in the past. I don't know if I don't think there's a direct way to get to him. But he'd be great fun to talk to because he's doing over the top in this. But I think because he's an opium addict in this, isn't he? So Hudson Hawk, Saltburn, I've never seen. Gosford Park, he's good. I do like Gosford Park. He contacts his Richard E. Grant website, but then usually when they put a website as a contact, it means it's a fan website. Although it hasn't been updated. His website hasn't been updated for a year now, but it does seem to be a fan made. It says official website, but is he going to say no to that? So I don't trust that. But talent agent, voice. The only options to contact him, and they're never helpful because there's no money in it. Dust Till Dawn as well. There you go. Didn't they shoot the London Street at Universal City Studios? I believe so, yes. Or whoever owned it at the time. Because, it is obvious as a street. But apparently, Coppola, when he first thought about doing this, he wasn't going to do any sets at all. He was just going to have the costumes in a dark area or something. I don't know how he's going to think of do it, but the studio said no, you got to have sets. So at least they went with lots of real sets. That's not, it's a classic. Larry is correct. Turn the blue iris. I remember when Marilla Frostrop, she's lovely as well, interviewing Richard Grant, asking him about Hudson Hawk. He looked off camera and said, I asked not to talk about that film and got very shirty. Yeah, that's the trouble. I don't know if he's mellowed since then, but I get Richard E. Grant and Rupert Everett mixed up for some reason. Yes, they are looking similar. So apparently Sadie Frost, is it, was wearing a wig because this is the time she was having her short hair. I went to see Dracula AD 72, and people were laughing at the effects after the film. Someone in the audience was talking to me on the way out and said he saw it when it was new and said people did in the 70s also. Yes, because isn't it Dracula AD 73 in the UK? Or is it in America? It's one of those films that's a year out, like Dracula 2000. Tom Cruise was great as Lestat. Yes, certainly changed to What's Her Face's mind. I haven't seen the TV version, but it's like the version of From Dusk Till Dawn. I was watching that. It was just the TV version of the film, just a lot longer. This is no, it's not going to play. Hang on. 50 boxes. No, missed the music. Right, messing around my speakers. Interestingly, Grant screen test failure 3 because Fincher is a big with Nella. I found, but the producer said no because he thought it was too young. He was up for the Charles Dance part. There you go. Right, where are we at? We are only 38 minutes in, and then it's ladies enjoying themselves running in the rain in a maze while Dracula watches from above. Oh, ladies kissing, and then the wolf is. And the monkeys. Isn't Grant in Rawhead Rex? I did not know. Grant is in Warlock. Yes, that's another great part he did. Him and Julian Sands. And of course, Grant didn't return for the sequels. Lair of the White Worm. It's Hugh Grant in Lair of the White Worm. Now, is it because he's eaten lots of people on the ship that he's growing younger? Because a lot of it's not explained. Because then he turns into a wolf, a bat thing on the ship, and maybe thinking of Warlock. Wow, seriously, he always struck me as being quite self-deprecating about it. He talks a lot about it in autobiography. Yeah, I read that back in the day, or if it was his first one. I think it depends what he was feeling about it at the point, because it was a big bomb and probably didn't do him any favors. If you check out White Woman in the directory, there's a picture of Annie Lennox. Was that the Partridge joke? I think the guy who did Shopping did Mortal Kombat. That sounds correct. That's maybe what I'm thinking of. Who wouldn't want to stay in the castle with Monica Bellucci? Yeah, although he is trying to get home to Winona Ryder, so. Did say to get the Matilda May Life Force attention, and yes, she did. That's the one. Yes, it was back in the 90s. What happened to Sadie Frost? I don't know if she retired from acting or if she just because she got pregnant a lot. But this is one of the 1001 movies you should see before you die. So here we go. There's the streets of London and the shaky cam. But I did intend to look her up because we are, yes, Hopkins doesn't turn up till about an hour in. Sadie Frost, there we go. So he's the half man, half wolf. And then Sadie's, this is where you see her underwear, I think. She was born in 1965. She's known for Stoker's Dracula. Producer on Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. So there she goes. Lucy. This is where Winona Ryder's in braless and in the windy rain. She's directing now by the look of it, but she was in A Gangster's Kiss this year. Look, goes to Jiggle, Jiggle, Jiggle. Rise of the Foot Soldier. So she's still doing some acting. Just nothing I've seen. Monica Bellucci, damn, she melted. Am I that far back? Right, let me catch up. But Bellucci boobies. She doesn't miss a chance to get them out, doesn't he? Although, I don't know what the hell she was doing in The Matrix. Belated evening. Couldn't find my VHS copy of the film. No, what? I got 3 here, just in case. I don't have a DVD, unfortunately. I did think I had like a vanilla disc, but I couldn't find it. Which Dracula movie is the horniest? The one with Frank Langella? I'm going to go with this one. Has more boobies per fan capita. Exactly what we got. Sadie Frost is 1. 3 brides. And then, yeah, got this wolf shagging her. But she seems to be enjoying it. Then there's her first tits out. Yeah, so irreversible. But yeah, the tough watch, yeah. I've not seen it because of how rough it is. You can clearly see there's no formula lighting in the film at all. Coppola's almost doing a Barry Lyndon with fire, oil lamps, or torches. Well, yes. It's only using lightning to good effect there. Lighting up the face. No, do not see me. Superimposing his face on it and then flash to white. No one remembers that, I think. He was last. I was not. Oh, Richie Gants in the last Star Wars film. No, he's rubbish. Grant is allergic to alcohol. That's why he was drinking lighter fluid. Dead and Loving It is easily the horniest. I don't even see anything in that one. I'm trying to think of. There's a Jess Franco Dracula with Christopher Lee as Dracula again with a moustache, but there's no TNA in it. I thought for a Jess Franco film, I was very disappointed. Yes, Kubrick, I think, favored just source lighting a lot of the time. Yeah. I think that's damn the guy I interviewed for Bloodsport and Kickboxer, cinematographer. He learned a lot to light Bronco Billy from Kubrick. Wasted or wasted. Grant ducked a bullet with Alien 3. Ooh. Yeah, although Dance is well remembered fondly for that film, isn't he? Because he was because it's the only performance I like in it, but even he's a bit hammy. Well, yes, I'm not. Got Tom Waits overreacting. So, and then we get the contrary to some beliefs, the vampire, like any other night creature, can move about by day, but his powers are weak. So then we get the London streets and the old camera. And then news, wolf escape, stranger storm on record, mystery schooner, crew missing. Has anyone seen that film? Was it this year? The Last Voyage of the Demeter. And then he's got his blue tinted glasses. See me now. Now, apparently, I think it's this scene for Winona's reaction. I think it's Yes, I've only noticed this for the first time off. When she's in the shop, there's a reflection in the window where he's reading the paper, but he's invisible. But because there's so much happening on the window and you see both sides, it's barely noticeable. Yeah, it's coming up now. But Hopkins is the priest at the beginning as well, and just the voiceover, of course. But I'm not sure if he's supposed to be Van Helsing in the voiceover or not. Marella Frostropp still said one of my things on Marilla Frostropp still said one of my things on telly after a clip of the dinner scene in Texas Chainsaw. She said, "It's like a Sunday lunch at my house." It would have been. Oh yes, Ralph Bam and Paul McGann back in Alien 3, of course, with Grant. That was very true. I do remember that one, Dave. It was on Channel 4 debate about film censorship in the late 90s. Right, there was smoking in this film, yes. So apparently, when she reacts to him, she wasn't giving him the right look when she looks at him across the road when she first sees him. So then, apparently, do I know you, sir? Ullman was doing rude things with a zucchini to get the right impression. And that apparently is when the relationship turned sour between them, because they were very close during the rehearsals and read up. But then as soon as they started filming, they didn't get along. But then they've apparently do like each other now. The bridges were mended. I remember on her program she talked about straw dogs too. You mean Practical Lightning Myers for Kubrick. There you go. Bingo, Franz and Michael. Sweet Knowledge. I still have that on VHS and watch it all the time. Ooh, nice. Yeah. Orange, the Straw Dogs, also The Exorcist and Emmanuel. They showed the smoking scene. I'll have to read my Emmanuel 2 book. So that's unfortunately no pictures. Was this the one where she tore a strip off one of the guests for a dodgy remark about I spit on your grave or something? The Emmanuel smoking scene. I think I criticized Susan George acting when they were talking about the grape soda scene. Yes, the guy. I remember about Adrian Gill making a snarky comment about Susan George acting in Straw Dogs. That's the one. All right. So here we go. Richard E. Grant. To see Miss Lucy. She's perfect in Straw. I still haven't seen Straw Dogs or the remake. My second favorite on that tape is the AA Guild says, "What's wrong with making a film that exploits women? It's going to make money." I like Charles Lamb, but every film I've seen him in this shit. I think you might be right there. Of course, there's Last Action Hero. I was going to say about Last Action Hero. What do you think about this? Last Action Hero, when it was made, Charles Dance's character goes through the cinema clippings and says, and then there's Dracula, and then there's all those sorts of other films out of that time. And do you think, should I go and get Dracula and bring him in? Now, if that was made now, although I was disappointed that I was thinking Dracula would turn up as Gary Oldman in that film when it came out, would they just litter the ending with cameos of films with people he could pull out of the cinema and watch? What do you reckon? Blood for Dracula is probably the craziest one. Didn't Sticky Fingers Winona Ryder steal a personalized book of Coppola he provided for this movie? I did read that, yes. I didn't read it in the trivia today, but I have heard that before. Tom Waits and Cochran's really play this for the camp. I think Allman Ryder and Reeves take it very seriously. That is true. Not just saying it. But any live stream where multiple people remember a documentary on Channel 4 from 24 years ago is all right by me. Yeah. I should have to see if it's out on YouTube somewhere. I did consider looking up Marella Frostropp. I know she's on Instagram, but I don't know if she would actually have anything to talk about. Plus, I can't remember how to spell her name. Mariella Frosch. Filipino. Frostropp. Great. Cottage score athesic. How is it? Ah, yeah, Frostdrop. There she is. Does have an email address. She's a campaigner, though, so I don't know what she's like these days. A Merry Christmas Day to Children's. She's on Loose Swimming. Is she on Loose Swimming? Or is she just Radio Time Screen Test Awards? On about the menopause. I'm not sure how much fun she'll be. There's Lucy and the Garlic. I think it was around the time C4 Bravely showed Zombie Flesh Eaters, Dracula, and Badless. I didn't even know they were crappy BBFC cut versions. If they just waited a few years, they could have shown them uncut. Exactly. So we get nudie films shown in the cinemas. I'm guessing they probably are real ones. I don't think they'd bother remaking old ones. I remember that he would have been roasted alive for saying that now. I wonder if the debate is on YouTube. But yes, I was going to say, if someone should upload it. Susan George in her prime was fire. We're all cut from the same cloth. Yes, this is the channel for that, isn't it? Yes, Straw Dogs is an awesome movie because it's filmed in Cornwall, isn't it, with Dustin Hoffman? Or set in Cornwall, at least. Space Truckers is a guilty pleasure with dance, but I'm not sure I call it good. Yeah, I've only seen it once or twice, isn't it? Stephen Dorff and Speed and Waterworld and Dennis, not Rodman. Genuine masterpiece. The remake is insulting. Yeah, there's a bit in Last Show where you see load of Columbia movie cutouts. I think you can see Dracula and Sleepwalkers. Makes sense. So he goes to bite her hair, but then decides. See, Winona Ryder's got a bit of a crossed over tooth there, which is exactly what I had until I got them fixed. Campaigner, oh no, yes, exactly. That's why I think I passed on her last time. I would have thought Mariella was too sophisticated for this women. I think I might still have that tape somewhere. You lucky people. So I got this good. I still don't know how they do this. You see the fangs grow, and I'm always trying to work out. I know. I think there's an old thing where you push the tongue and it pushes the teeth down, which is an old trick for vampire fangs, but it's a pretty good effect. I generally get excited when I see Charles dancing something. I lost my mind when he popped up in the first Omen. I still yet to see that. And then the wolf, and then there's the. Damn, I forgot to mention in the puppet action film. I don't know if it's at the beginning or here. There's a Nosferatu-looking puppet. Winona as Well, apparently Winona is a natural. Well, I said she's not a natural blonde. She's a natural white-haired girl. It's so blonde, she's white-haired. So she always dyed her hair, and then of course she dyed her hair blonde for Edward Scissorhands. But yeah, it never does anything for me. The Ice Dance is one of my favorite pieces of music, though. I've lost favor with the rest of the Scissorhands film, which is why we have not done a watch party of it. Because it's not. I don't think is it a Christmas film as such. I saw Late Night of the Devil in HMV on Blu-ray, but I couldn't see it on DVD or 4K, which seems weird to me. Yeah, normally, although HMV nearest to me is closed down, so I don't get to go around it anymore. Not that I went around much because it was in the mall, and it's about 40 minutes away. There you go. Larry agrees with me. Larry's a good guy. Have you heard anything from Don, Larry? Because I think he likes a very old post of mine recently, but then doesn't seem to be around. I always thought Winona was cute in heathers, the top she wears when her and Slater consummate. Yeah. She is lovely. She wasn't just a pretty face. She had attitude and could do comedy, because I saw films like Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael, and what's that other one? Let's see what she did. Because she's in Homefront, which was the was going to be a Sly film. It also could have been a Rambo film. So I think I lost interest when Little Women. That's when I gave up on her, I think, because she did Little Women, How to Make an American Quilt, Boys, The Crucible, Alien Resurrection, of course, I watched that. Girl Interrupted, and Autumn in New York, Lost Souls. But that's about it. Mr. Deeds. But we had Reality Bites. That's another one. And then, I was very disappointed she got off with the guy from Soul Asylum. House of the Spirit, I watched that. Age of Innocence, that's the one I went to the premiere of. 90 on Earth, I watched on VHS. Mermaids, of course. Edward Scissorhands. Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael. Then Great Balls of Fire. Heathers. Beetlejuice. Lucas is the film I'm trying to think of. She's only 5'3.5", apparently. And born 2 years before me. Says she has no children. Here he is. So 56 minutes in. Anthony Hopkins is in the film. Suffers from insomnia. She allegedly has a habit of talking on the phone with actor Al Pacino, who also suffers from insomnia. She was well up for Celtic. There you go. Hey, there you go. Rob's here. What a coincidence. I've just got done watching Bram Stoker's Dracula. It is the 32nd anniversary. It was released in the UK cinemas. I didn't mention when it was in. I think it was an October one for America. That's why I'm doing this now instead of October. Although I cancelled it the other day because I couldn't be bothered. Oh no, I tell a lie. It's also United States. Hang on, where's UK? No, I fucked up. It's the American anniversary today. For some reason, Britain got it. I must have read this wrong last time I looked. Is this Dracula? Yeah. Bloody hell. That's me going crazy. January 29th, 1993. So it's the American anniversary today. That's why it made me do it. I tried. I'm to see Juror number 2 and tempted to watch the Tyson fight on the weekend. If I do both, I might time travel. Yes. Don has been lurking recently, but I haven't heard from him directly. Yeah, weird, isn't it? Where is our Don? I've got a film called Boys with her in that I never watched. Yeah, I never watched that one. Girl Interrupted was her last notable film. She got done for shoplifting about a year after that. There you go. 5'3.5" She's half an inch taller than my wife. There you go. Aren't you a tall lad there, Rob? That's one of those situations. Oh, here we go. So she's going to get her tits out again. I'm still surprised how much this film deviates from its source. It's been a while since I read the original novel. Great book, though, yeah. Because the novel is just, each chapter is a different person writing in their diary, isn't it? And Dracula is just turns up as a mention most of the time, isn't it? And then there you go, there's the shadow. Tyson is fighting, is he like 60? Yes. Yes, and yes. He's fighting that twat from YouTube. It's not me. No, I watched Bram Stoker's Dracula. Okay, sorry. I like her best when she's weird, quirky character like Heathers and Beetlejuice. Even Alien Rexon because she's a weird android. Yes, that is true. Oh, there's Jamie. Hey, Jamie. She loves this movie too. See, everyone's loving this movie, I think. Tyson has been talking about a comeback since COVID. Bless him. I think he's going to win because he was in that. He was, the awful Seagal film, which he watched and he actually won. Yeah, it's probably his. There's a boob out again. Same one. I think Tyson's in one of the Kickboxer remakes, isn't he? Okay. Opponent wears ear protection. I wouldn't want to challenge Tyson even now. He's still built like a brick shithouse, isn't he? He could lamp me and kill me in one punch. I'm 64 when we heard my wife's nipples chafe. I'm seeing all these memes of husbands with short wires and saying she's getting ready for a trip to the North Pole to help Santa and stuff like that. But luckily, me and my wife are about the same height, 5'7". Yes, how are you, Jamie? He's in IP Man 3. I still need to watch the IP Man. Of all the action films I watch, I haven't seen the IP franchise. Is she looking at all the other boob? It's the odd-looking one. Her nipple placement must be off on the second one. And then we get the transfusion. I get a little joke. I will give all my blood if I need to. Well, good to know. Hopefully it won't come to that. I'm 5 foot tall. Stretching it can be 5.5. And Tyson's was in Kickboxer Vengeance or whatever it's called, yes. Because, yeah, there's only 2 Kickboxer remake films, isn't there? For some reason, Jean-Claude Van Damme is blind in the second one. Your last drop? Really? Thank you. You're very welcome here. I don't ask as much as that. Not yet. But yes, Hopkins is indeed hamming this up completely. And then she's had 3 guys in her. I mean, 3 guys' blood in her. They didn't really check for blood types back then, so. Did you hear that Kickboxer's getting a 4K steelbook? Nice. Because we were going to be doing, what was it? Bloodsport Watch Party with Frightly Forgotten, but they're so busy being popular that they haven't got time, so we're going to do it in January. Good. Knock on wood. Things have calmed down for Jamie. Nice. Doesn't everyone have me up in this movie? Well, I think that's why. Well, Richie Grant is. Anthony Hopkins is. Oldman's being serious and hamming up. Hey, Mayan's here. Good evening, Mayan. How are you? I think Van Damme finally joined Seagal's dubbing club in the Kickboxer remake, I'm sure. I remember his voice being dubbed by someone. At least he was standing up. Carry On Dracula. I guess we got Carry On Screaming, which was the Hammer ripoff or spoof. You hear the soundtrack in my head. Free Jack, anyone? Yes, Anthony Hopkins in Free Jack. That's not a bad film, as it turns out. I saw that in the cinema. Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger. But I don't know. Is it even out on Blu-ray? Hello, sweethearts. To Mayan. Hello, Mayan to me. Just remember, this is literally one of the 3 films I've seen at 3 a.m. in the cinema when they did all-nighters at my then new cinema. Yeah. I don't think I haven't seen a cinema do apart from midnight shows of very popular films, they don't bother much, do they? I guess it's paying people. I saw this one in the theatre, and to this day, I still hate 90s horror films. You don't like Ticks? And what have we got? Let's have a look. Unfortunately, they're all mixed up, yeah. With my trilogies: Candyman, Village of the Damned, Species, Jacob's Ladder, Body Snatchers, Event Horizon, Vampires, Interview with the Vampire, The Craft, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Fallen, Mimic, Seven, Final Destination, Angel Heart, Faculty, American Werewolf in Paris, and Forest. From Dusk Till Dawn, Flatliners, Tremors, Frighteners, Anaconda, I think. Silence of the Lambs, Ghost of Mars, Blade, Phantasm 3, Warlock 2, Hellraiser 3, Return of the Living Dead 3. That's about it as far as I can see. Some good ones in there. So I just ordered Carry On Columbus to complete my Carry On Zone full well. It's absolute track. Yes, I'm one of those. Oh, I couldn't get any absinthe to drink tonight. Otherwise, that would have been an interesting watch party. And I couldn't get into an Abbey. Never been to an all-nighter. Consider going to Mission Impossible all-nighter at my BMF IMAX. But I just can't be asked. No, all-nighters are tricky. I did Star Trek all-nighter. I tried to do it, but my girlfriend at the time felt ill after the third film, so we called it quits. But I'd seen that from 4 onwards. I'd seen in the cinema anyway, so I think I did Evil Dead 1 and 2 midnight show back in the day. One thing that blew me away recently is my old cinema did an 8 a.m. showing of Barbie for the kids. I saw this in cinema too. I know. Shocking, I know. I'd expect no less, Jamie. I wonder what the Americans thought of Keanu's accent. Should have done a Candyman watch in Tony Todd's honor. That's a good point. I have done Candyman, but I don't have... It's like someone was saying. Everyone was saying how lovely and wonderful he is, but his track record of films is not good. Because apart from 3 Candyman films, the Night of the Living Dead remake He's done some Star Trek, hasn't he? He's a Klingon. But he's in what? He's normally just pops up as a cameo, doesn't he? Because there was that. Was it Hellfest? Final Destination, Hatchet. He just turns up as a cameo. Is absinthe still legal? I thought it was. I think I've seen it like Tesco's or something, but of course, no one cares anymore because you get stuff like moonshine, can't you, from my market stalls? And then I think where does it say? Talks about her past life, makes him cry. There are some exceptions. There you go, Candyman, Scream, Trevor's, but I don't like how 90s abandoned sleazy embraced the cerebral CGI. Yes, that is very true. They did do that because PC came in then, didn't it? Because like the CGI in Blade is not great. And what's it called? Spawn. I guess that's technically a horror. Trying to see what else we got here. Stir of Echoes. That's a good 90s one. Others, I think it's 2000s, isn't it? What Lies Beneath is 2000. From Hell, I think it's 2000. Red Dragon. Road, Kill, Hole, Blair Witch. I saw No Time to Die at the BMX at 8 a.m. At least you only took up your morning. Right, where are we at? Oh, shit. Still got an hour to go. Man's deceit took her from me. And now, there's a bit. Look, he grabs a tear and then opens his hand and there's 4 diamonds. Now, did he turn her tears to diamonds? Did he have the diamonds ready for her at the one point she's going to cry? Or I need to know these answers. In the Math of Madness, there you go. Oh, it's a bad accent. Even the Yanks knew. Nice, Larry. Tony Todd, rest in peace, indeed, bless him. Or a Night of the Living Dead rewatch make. I don't have a copy of that. That's why I watched it myself. But I had to stream it because I don't own it. I used to own the VHS double box set, which I think had the film and then a T-shirt. I think it was. Tony Todd died weeks ago. Reeves was the weakest part. Yeah, that's pretty much the consensus, isn't it? I know where the bastard lives. That's one way to wake up. Yeah. I thought Connor's accent was terrible, and I'm a huge fan of him. Yeah, bless him. Because he did better in Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing with Kenneth Branagh, and because him and Denzel were brothers in the film. I do like that one. That's got a good score as well. Love Song for a Vampire is in the Dracula movie. Yeah, we'll get to that in an hour. Bloody hell. I thought this film was over. Keanu's been rescued. Remake of The Living Dead was awesome. Yes, I've always liked it. I saw that in the cinema. But there's people that hate it more than they hate the colorized version where it's just green. The year Dracula came out in cinemas, the movie Channel Sky was showing a lot of Dracula movies during Halloween 92 on the 31st October, to be precise. I was last Saturday. Thank you. He's in Murder Set Pieces, but I think it's banned over here, and it's absolute garbage. But see, I watched, was it River's Edge? And everyone's been saying how they love that film and it's wonderful, but I don't see it. All the characters were annoying. I didn't like any of them. Even Keanu's isn't that great. He's the best of a bad lot. Blade 2 has better effects, though, yes. Has anyone seen Gladiator 2? There was a really hype for it, and most of the critics are saying it's okay sequel. But Paul, yeah, who is Paul Mescal? Because he's no Russell Crowe. Hasn't got the range, dear. I don't know who he is. Oh, Bram can see it because I think people are saying it's okay, but that's like a bit where the gladiators fight sharks because they have a tank in the Colosseum that they put bloody sharks in or something. I think I saw a rhino and well, Golly, Mary Poppins. Dick Van Dyke. I never had a problem with Dick Van Dyke's. It's been 7 hours and 15 days since you took my love away. Oh, nothing compares to you now. That's 11 Gladiator 1 properly. See, I saw that in the cinema twice back in the day. I think one of them was in London's Leicester Square, Odeon. But the last time I watched it, I didn't enjoy it. I might give it a look, but I'm not going to go IMAX. Do you believe in destiny? The powers of time can be altered for a single purpose, that the luckiest man who works on is the one who finds true love. Isn't that Dracula in this? What's the best movie about gladiators? Spartacus isn't bad. But there isn't that many, is there? I've never been a big gladiator fan. I think that's the problem. The first one was overhyped when it came out. That's the next Sword and Sandal Renaissance, and then that was about it. Ridley Scott tried again with that other film, old-timey film with the guy I can't remember. But never mind. Gladiator 1992 is a boxing film. There's the Gladiators, American Gladiators, the TV series, and the British Gladiators fighting film, TV show. Gladiator 2 got Jet in. We'll be up for a bit of Jet. War Jet. She's things she could do to meet with her muscles. Wolf did a song called Wild Thing after his entrance theme on the show. Good old Wolf. The boxing, I still haven't seen the Gladiator film. Even though it's got the guy from Twin Peaks in it, which I was a big fan at the time, I didn't fancy watching it. We're talking Gladiators and we're talking, yes. River's Edge, I remember being a struggle to get through. Good. Everyone else said it was one of their favourite films. And I thought, are we watching the same thing? It's about a group of misfit teenagers, and one of them kills his girlfriend because she was annoying him. And then the rest just say they don't believe him at first, and he shows them, and they still say, oh, well, that's nice of you. All the flowers that you gave me, Mama, in the back. Still doing nothing compares to Yori. I really wanted to like with River's Edge, but Christopher Glover's overacting ruined it. That is true. He is overdoing that. He's one of the most annoying characters. Sharks with freaking laser beams on their heads. Yes, that's what the gladiators needed. I wanted a double bill of Eastwood tomorrow. I watched Juror number 2. And what would people recommend I pair it with? That's the trouble, because Eastwood's not in it. So it's one of his directed-only films. And then, yeah. So this is another thing with this film. She's got teeth having... Her fangs are coming out above her, incisors? So these aren't getting bigger. She's just getting extra teeth. Nosferatu. So I don't know what the hell that's about. Do you like films about gladiators? I watched crap shark movies a while with The Asylum. Yeah, they made a few of those. But great. And I may say that Miss Lucy is hotter than a June bride riding bare buck naked in the middle of the Sahara. You keep your colonial tongue, or whatever he says, off my Lucy. That's for Italian classes, 80s Italian classes about gladiators. Kingdom of Heaven, that's it. Thank you, friends. See, friends can sense my stupidness and knows how to fix it. What was the problem with River Edge, Miles? Yes. What was it? Jet was on Pointless recently. Still got it. Is Pointless still going? I used to watch that years ago. Oh, the Arena with Pangria and Markov. It's the best gladiator film. Exploitation Reviews is right. Women-only gladiator films are the best ones. I watched the Gladiator 1992 boxing a few months ago, and the only reason was because one of my few favorite bands, Warrant, had a cover version of "We Will Rock You" on there. Nice. Gladiator 92 is pretty good. Barney boxes in spandex at the end. Sold. There you go. So Winona Ryder's throwing away our love letters from Dracula. But apparently this takes place from May to December, whatever year it came set in. Wins! It's going all Brian Blessed in this. Wins! There really isn't any good. There really isn't much good in the cinema right now. That Santa film with The Rock is going to flop hard. Yes. I saw someone posted something about the upcoming Christmas films that are coming out this month. There's the Jack Black one, and there was 2 others, and I thought, I don't care about this at all. There is nothing coming out. that I'm interested in. That's a sad times when there isn't one film in a month or 2 months now that I don't even want to see, not alone see in the cinema. But we do have Jingle All the Way coming up on the channel with the director. And that was the first time I noticed Cuba Gooding Jr. Yes, that was one of his big early films, wasn't it? Because I watched, was it Chill Factor with him and the kid from Scream, the Donny Depp looking motherfucker. Because I remember not fancying it after watching the trailer 30 years ago. I was right not to watch it. It was terrible. They got a deadly chemical they have to keep cold, otherwise it'll kill everyone into chemical poison. Couldn't get into it. Might be like it on the second watch. Stranger things have happened. That is true. Second watches can help. Jet, Lightning, Panther, Scorpion, all hot. There's a night and a hot tub, isn't it? Gareth, I have love and nostalgia for VHS, just like me. But with many being 4x3 and cut to shreds by the BFC, are they in fact a bit crap? Ooh, might have me there. Because I do like widescreen. This is why I was happy when widescreen VHS came out. But there's only horrors, action films, ninja films, chainsaw films are all cut. So it is a tricky slope. And as you've seen in some of the comparison videos I've done, the VHS is quite dark, but sometimes that works for the best. But it is a nostalgia thing. I would rather watch the 4K of this if I could had the choice of that or VHS. Scorpion was a bloke, I think. I can't remember. I never watched the Gladiator shows. I just remember seeing pictures of the ladies. Always thought more of the Lightning Man, which is a weird sentence. Gladiator 92 starts with a Seal, a Dansky song, Killer at the start. How many times has Killer re-released in the charts? It seems to be out every year, either as a Dansky and then as Seal on his own. I'm doing Kiss from a Rose, not a Dansky. I'm only interested in Nosferatu in December. See, that's a sad fact, isn't it? Only because it used to be, in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s, Boxing Day, which is the 26th of December in the UK, used to be a big day for films coming out, big releases, but like Almost an Angel with Paul Hogan. Oh, here we go. So, no, I need to see this because when Billy Campbell gets attacked, apparently you see he's wounded before he gets out, but he doesn't. If Dracula killed him, he would have survived the ending of this film. He shoots him. Trouble is, it's all cut, and it's all jerky, so you can't see it. And her left hit again, third time. Looks like Carrie Alberts gets blasted across the room by mass mystical forces. And then we got the wedding. So this is the real wedding of Winona and Keanu. Has The Rock ever been anything good? Like anything? I used to like Welcome to the Jungle, or The Rundown, as the Americans know it. See, why has he gone old now? I never know why he keeps changing age. And then Keanu Reeves gone from black hair, white hair to semi. I think my grey hair's dust is coming out. I watched Terrifier 3 finally, and I'm probably done for the year as far as cinema goes. It's a shame, isn't it? There used to be at least one film a month I was interested in seeing in the cinema. Because the cinema is only a 10 minutes car ride or cycle from where I live. Oh, we almost saw her left tit. Right tit. But these are the times, because, I didn't even see Deadpool 3 in the cinema. I don't know why I said a few favorite bands. I like bloody thousands of them. The studio really need to realize that you have to give people something they have to leave the houses for. Indeed. I know Barbieheimer wasn't exactly a good idea, but it got the plebs in. Wanted to say they've done 2 films they're no interest in watching, really. The studios really need to realize, yes, that's what I've done. Southland Tales, yeah, he was good in his early days. Like, he was the best thing of that Get Shorty sequel. But they're saying he's just phoning it in for was it Red One or whatever it is. I think it was Black Adam he thought was going to be the biggest superhero film ever, and it wasn't, so he got hurt from that. Might skip Jingle All the Way, not confident I'll be able to hide my true feelings. I used to hate that film when it came out. I had no interest in watching it. I gave it a watch once, but I do enjoy it now, just because of how stupid it is. Oh, so it's just going to be me on my own, is it? Thanks, guys. No worries. Wonder what Wolf is up to these days. I think he's still making appearances, just less hair. I generally feel sorry for The Rock when he'll eat like 12 meals a day for Hercules, and everyone was like, huh? Hercules, I didn't mind. I watched that recently. It was certainly better than Conan the Barbarian remake. Hercules was more entertaining, and it was good how they took the piss of his fake things like the Hydra fight and everything. They just made up stories to make him sound cool. That's it. Be cool. Where he's got the weird hairstyle and he wants to be a singer or something, I think. But he was the best thing about it. Saw an episode glad it's been filmed in Birmingham when I was 13. Nice. I saw about 10, 15 years ago. I was when Blockbusters came back for the whatever time with Simon and Mayo. I was in the studio when they filmed 3 episodes. There we go. So it's him. Ooh, let me out. It's the man himself. Look, he's grown young. Grown young. That's like the guy from My Local Chinese. He tries to get out of the carriage, but it's moving. Just sit here and seethe. And he watched an art film called Caged Women. I think the BBC cut that down by 25 minutes. Bloody hell. I watched, was it Chained Heat with Sybil Danning and Exorcist Girl, whatever her name is. But the whole shower scene was done from angles where you couldn't see anything. Gladiators was a program indeed. It ran from October 92 through to February 2000. Yeah, it had legs, didn't it? I guess like stuff ran for 10 years or so in the 90s, like Baywatch. Funny, it's all like girls in swimsuits. Ah, yes. The NIC. NIA. My local audience showing that Christopher Lee documentary. I'm going to go see it, but people might think I think nervous breakdown in there. It was, yeah, I don't know. I've gone off documentaries that are sad. It's not the Barclaycard Arena, is it? Yeah. The Rock made his entire career Christian in his charisma. He's watchable, but none of his films are truly great. And no, none of his films on his own. Fast 5 is good when he's not the main thing in there. And then was it 5, 6? I think he's not in because he was doing something else. He had a small cameo in there. Was it Fast 7? I can't keep up with his which. Is that out yet? I think the Scottish announcer from the Gladiators died recently. That's a shame. My Odeon had a show today around there. You go. I saw Deadpool 3 in the cinema. It was pretty funny, yes. I have seen it twice now. And it was still good the second time, which I was hoping it would be. Right, here we go. So, how does she seems to get out of her coffin and close the lid herself and then seal it somehow, but then nip out for a bite? Because, yeah, I think in the book it's a story about the white lady who goes around stealing kids. I'm sure the Big Trouble remake would be career best not. It's been about 15 years of trying to get that off the ground, hasn't he? The Formula One movie of Brad Pitt looks like it might have potential, directed by Top Gun Maverick director. That I do like the sound of. See, saw Jingle at the cinema. And Junior. I saw Junior at the cinema. And then I watched it again. It must have been a few years back, and I thought, oh dear, it was a struggle to get through that. I remember liking it in the cinema, but that was 30 years ago. I still can't get over it. I own a Turbo Man toy. Nice. I'll send the picture to Brian Levant. Saw June in the cinema. I was a bit late to watch Jingle All the Way, so I saw Daylight instead. Yes. Last week he wants to marry, now he wants to have a committed. Yes. There's a lot of good lines in this. I did email the writer a couple of days ago, James V. Hart. Apparently, the baby in this scene, when they didn't think they need more than one take, because she got very scared of Sadie Frost in all her makeup and being mean to her. But then Sadie Frost had to calm her down and chat to her again so they could do another shot. Oh, there we go. So yeah, slam a stake through her, and then he lops her head off, and then it cuts to the beef. Yeah, there it is. A very undercooked roast beef. Oh, hang on. It shows how delusional I am. I'd love to go on Gladiators until I got my ass kicked. Yes. You'd feel that the next day. Hey, Slasher Fred, this movie feels very much connected to the actual Bram Stoker novel. Oh, the novel, yeah. This is one of the closest, isn't it? People said. Yeah. Was she in great pain? Yeah. She was in great pain. Then we cut off her head. What she did, and then drove a stake through her heart and burned it, and then she found peace. John Anderson from Gladiators died July 28th. He was 92. Not bad in it. Yes, I thought he was old in Gladiators. Gladiators ready. Contestants ready. During the interview with those dynamic women, did you, for one instance, taste of their blood? Here's Austin. He's got the 4K. Looks great. I bet it does. There's even my VHS here. 30-year-old VHS is standing up. Great colours. Very bright. Is being in Jingle All the Way and Phantom Menace one of the greatest CVs ever? Yes. And then that was about it, wasn't it? Poor bastard got so criticised that he left and had problems. So it's him and Jar Jar Binks' actor had issues. And I guess, I don't know, Hayden Christensen was the second film he had a problem with. I must pop upstairs and have a good old think about that. Yes, good old Gladiators. Did the BBC leave this one alone? I think so. There's nothing saying it was cut. It was cut in America for the nipple bleeding, I think. We found out earlier. But yeah, there's no cuts mentioned. Yeah, the British version contains where the nipple is licked by the vampires. So it's got... so there you go. In the VHS version, there is an addition to the scene where Mina seduces Van Helsing, and for some reason the subtitles when characters are speaking in Romanian are omitted. In 1995, a heavily censored version of the film was broadcast on Fox, garnering much criticism from fans and critics alike, not to mention Coppola himself. And then the Indian version was made small cuts of the film. There were 38 different cuts of the film prior to its release. There are at least 8 shots missing from the theatrical, video, and DVD versions. The Criterion Laserdisc and the 2-disc collector's edition, released in 2007, both contain over 30 minutes of deleted footage. That's another thing, because there's supposed to be a making of or something at the end of this. Yes, Jake Lloyd did get done dirty. That's it. He has to be said. Yes. Poor bastard. He was, 10? And then the whole world was hating on him. Yippee! Ben says, Keanu does a perfectly fine accent. I never had a problem with it until I heard people saying it, but it's more his performance than his accent. And this movie has many references to classic vampire Nosferatu, particularly the scene Dracula rising from the grave and the shadow on the wall. I think, yes, that was intentional. I think Coppola did that. I did here. Because what was it? Nosferatu ripped off Dracula. And then they were told to burn all the cuts and copies they had, but luckily one survived. I am Miss Harker. My master tells me about you, see? What did people expect? It was on Fox TV, yes. They cut movies to shit back then. So, save with ITV here. I still can't get over how many people acted like they never slagged off Jake Lloyd when it was found out he had problems. Yeah. Poor bastard. the Fox TV broadcast of Scream 1, 2 are just weird. They've only aired once. Yeah, I gave up watching films on TV probably about 20, 25 years ago now. Just isn't worth it when they cut and adverts all the time. But back in the 80s, they either weren't on VHS or you couldn't watch them unless they were on TV. Master! You promised me eternal life, but you gave it to the pretty lady. That's my impression of Tom Waits. I'm no lunatic man. I'm a sane man fighting for his soul. Dr. Jack. Water and toiletries at your disposal. So you'll be completely safe here. Then there's all this chaos happening in the fucking insane asylum. The US for TV version Predator was interested to cut out the Predator's face for a wheel. What the fuck is wrong with his face? So what my opinion on Jake Lloyd changed before he got committed. There was an interview he did around 2009 at a convention where the guy interviewed him was being such a smug pregnant. I never had a problem with him because I thought it's just a child actor. There's plenty of bad child actors, like the Shining TV series is always slagged off. But it was the casting and directors that chose these things and chose the performance. So, right, where are we at? An hour and a half. So, any good film was finished by now. I like The Rock in one scene in Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart. They're in a bar and four thugs threaten Kevin Hart, and The Rock says he hates bullying and then twats them all. Yeah, I didn't mind Central Intelligence. That was pretty good. But then there's far too much Kevin Hart in it, I think, because he was in I saw him in Scary Movie 3 the other day. Now, I forgot to mention when we saw the wolf of Dracula earlier, when he's shagging Sadie Frost, I think it might have been then. It might not have been Gary Oldman in the suit because he had a lot of problem with the latex giving him a rash. So yeah, he turns into a giant bat. He flies out when they're attacking his place, turns into a green fog, and then comes after her. The acting was being a bit hand up and sensational in this movie, but it never bothered me. Yeah, you see, yeah, you either go with it or you hate it. There are quite a few differences in a couple of films to the novel, especially the ending sequence. The BBC 1977 version has a more faithful narrative to Stoker's book. That might be the version. I thought it was an 80s version, but it probably just, I saw it in the 80s or late 90s. Early 90s when this came out, they might have shown it again. I remember Dracula had triangle fingernails. Nice one, Franz. I remember when TNT promoted this film when they had a Dracula marathon in one night in 92. It's nice. I guess there's no point in them doing stuff like that now, is there? Because people are just going to watch it whenever they want. I don't know. When it shows Earth, it's like grey ash and a bit of mud on top. And for some reason, there's a white snake in the dirt. Oh, there you go. Winona's getting green mist up her. And then he's here. I love the part when Dracula's wife rises up from the bed. Harker's on. Yeah, it's very good. It's like obvious. The platforms and stuff moving around, but it still works and distracted by tits. I thought you were dead. It's funny how there's films where they say the actors hated each other, but they still bring a great performance. Like allegedly, these two weren't getting on at the time, but I still believe that they love each other. It's no internet energy that to rely on stuff like that. Very primitive times, exactly. Having to watch a TV show, sit through the adverts. I didn't have Sky, but they didn't have many marathons on ITV or Channel 4 or BBC 2, did they? You might get 2 films in a row. Did you know that the original teaser trailer was cut from the release of the movie due to its blood on screen. I was going to show the teaser trailer, but there's a bloody copyright on it, on the whole video, rather than it doesn't. It's got this really good soundtrack as well. But yeah, it's like blood splashing on stones, and it all merges together, and then it says Dracula with some flashes of footage from the film. But I couldn't show it. That's why I went with some TV spots instead. Apparently they liked each other in rehearsals, but then it soured. They're saying he played a prank on her and she didn't like it, which I think was the aubergine simulation he did to get her attention when she's across the street in London earlier on. But then no one actually knows for sure. But then they said, just like I heard a voice in here then. They said they've made up since and they're friends now. Not that. Although I don't know, they've been together. Her and Keanu have done 2 films since this, haven't they? I'm always, when bands don't like each other and only interact on stage, how does that work? I was thinking that earlier with like Tears to Fears hate each other. Garfunkel, Simon Garfunkel, they've only just got back together, haven't they? And then what's the other ones? The ones Sam and Dave. BBC 2 and Channel 4 would have theme nights, but they only once in the blue moon. Yeah, exactly. They wouldn't. BBC 2 would have a double bill. I remember that. Channel 4 sometimes. I don't remember many more than 2 films, but they could have done that once or twice. Yes, the Love Song for a Vampire by Linus, who was quite a big singer in the 80s and 90s. Yes. The Eurythmics, and then she went solo because she does a duet in Scrooge, doesn't she? Can't remember. Is it Aretha Franklin and her? Am I going crazy? Misremembering everything again. Most of the movie was filmed on sets, from what I hear. Yes, only the church scene was actual church. Everything else is sets. You are correct. To be honest, they're lacking chemistry just shown the film. I thought it was just because how restrained her actor, the character's supposed to be, but yeah, it could be. Kind of what like Tim Burton does. Or used to, didn't he? I think it's like when you go to work and you don't like your colleagues on your team, and you're just there for the money. Same as the bands. But the trouble is, there's a difference like working in an office with people, isn't there? And then being something creative. It's like Queen didn't always get on, the 4 of them, but then, because was it when Freddie went solo, he didn't have them arguing with him, telling him he was wrong. He was surrounded by yes men, so that's why he didn't really have such a big success, because he wasn't reined in. Yes, it's the short answer. I got Red Dragon on X Rental. We got Silence of the Lambs, but Ghost Ship with the man. Oops. I have Hannibal, but it's right at the bottom of the back, and everything's falling down. Sorry, but I do have it. Honest. Got Manhunter, Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon on VHS. I've never liked Hannibal. Yes, I've never liked Hannibal. I didn't mind Julia more, but she wasn't the same character. And then there's no real investigative story like there is on Silence of the Lambs, so it put me off. Because Red Dragon has the investigative story, and then I don't like the brain scene with what's his name? Ray Liotta. Oh, there you go. Where's he gone? And then jump scare. But she's tasted his blood. I do love this change where he's big bat, goes into the darkness, turns into a pile of rats. And then and then this bit where he sets the cross on fire, stamping his feet. I don't think Yano was as bad in this, but it's not as bad either. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Doesn't put me off the film, but he's gone white again now. Yeah, his hair does change colours as he goes on in and out of this film. I still miss when a remake came out and the original would be on TV or a DVD with a cover replicating The remake of the cover. Yes, because the TV show of The Incredible Hulk came out when Hulk came out originally with Eric Bana, and then it was Lou Ferrigno's Hulk doing the same pose as the Hulk, new Hulk. Yeah, how do they rehearse? Because you can't be in the room with someone because you hate them so much, and you have to do 2-hour set on stage, but you have to obviously rehearse and practice and talk about what you're going to do. But is it by then? Yeah, the real rats there. Saw Hannibal Impact back in the day and hated it. It goes over the top at the end. Yes, exactly. That's why I saw it in the cinema too. I thought I was very disappointed because Gary Oldman, of course, is in that uncredited. But yeah, I don't even remember the music from it. I can watch Hannibal as a horror flick slasher costume. It works on that level. Wonder if her costume is on that shop in Beverly Hills. No one's going to let that go. What about the Silence of the Lambs? Yes, that I can get. I don't know what the American ones are like, but yeah, this one's double-sided, split right down the center. They did show Count Dracula in 1796 on BBC. There you go. Must be where I saw it. Kenyan Ernest composed music, quite eerie. Louis Jordan as Dracula. Hang on. Is he the one from Octopussy, or am I thinking of someone else? Does Harker's hair go white in the novel? I haven't heard, and don't know actually. I haven't read it since this film came out. I do have Red Dragon, but never watched it. I don't mind Red Dragon. It's different to Manhunter, but the same at the same time. There's lots of stuff that's the same because it is based on the book. But then I don't mind it. I know I do prefer William Peterson to Edward Norton, but they do go more into the Tooth Fairy in that one, in Red Dragon. I think Manhunter is, I like both, but Manhunter I do enjoy more. Good call with the Hulk. That is a brilliant example. Yay me! I got one right. Jesus, I'm pale. It's no Manhunter, even though it's probably more faithful to the book. There you go. That sums it up as well. On the ITV version of Lambs, Miggs says I can smell your scent. Spider-Man. She still gets his money shot, though. Well, I guess. It takes you a while to guess what it is. Funny enough, I mentioned Ang Lee's Help to a Friendly. I'm still annoyed that some kids sneaking in on the first showing that made so much noise got thrown out. What idiots. They got away with it. Yeah. You go in and then get thrown out for making a noise. Idiots. So here we go. We're off. We're on the home straight. Still 20 minutes. I think 7 minutes. That might be credits. So yes, they're going by train across Paris, Budapest, Varna, and he's going by ship around them. The American Silence of the Lambs cover is similar, but not double-sided. I have seen it where it's side by side or half and half, isn't it? I've got Manhunt to do, but I probably haven't watched that either. I need to do better. Yes, as we having a go at Ian last night in the quiz for not watching anything from the 80s. The Arrow 4K of Silence of the Lambs is awesome. I have the website exclusive version. Nice. Edward was apparently a big Seagal fan, so naturally I like him quite a bit. I know he does take over films he's in, like Red Dragon and Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, doing rewrites and stuff. But you can't blame him sometimes. Have you heard? Ooh, I did want to check that out. I do like the film Ninth Gate as well. I know the ending's does end quite rapidly, but I like the build up to it. The investigations and finding all the books with the different pages, but I don't remember the soundtrack. Oh, Manhunt is out of print now, is it? Yeah. Typical. Well, I can talk because my X-Rental VHS doesn't have a tape in it. I picked up in the collection and then thought, excellent, Manhunter X-Rental, and there was a wrong tape inside. I did consider, because it's quite expensive to buy. I know someone that has a copy, so I was going to record their copy Just put on a blank tape, but what was the point? Remember him in Primal Fear, which was quite good. Yeah, exactly. This is one of his. That was his big break, wasn't it? Good, decent thriller with Richard Gere. And then that's about 25 years ago now, isn't it? Made a name for himself. Right. Oh, so another late night film. But what have we got tomorrow? Anchorman, not Anchor Lady. With Jimmy the Scottish Geek Guy. So fun to there. Then Friday night, we're going to be in the video shop recommending 80s comedies. Saturday, nothing at the moment. And then Sunday, it's Return to Salem's Lot with that fiend Alucard. That's it. And then, Christ, what am I doing? Play your cards right on Monday. Brian Trenchard Smith interview on Tuesday. No, that's it. Salem's Lot is Saturday. Shit, I thought I had a day off. Play your cards right Sunday. Brian Trenchard Smith interview on the Monday. Should be live. Heartbreak Ridge on the Tuesday. Mamma Mia sing along on the bloody Wednesday. And Real Ghostbusters on the Thursday. Bloody hell. Didn't realize I was that busy. Right, here we go. So this is where Mina's coming on to him. With her big bustiness. And then, yeah, the brides kill the horses. And then I think they should. People are upset at this ending where it's not Van Helsing that kills Dracula, as people expected. And then you got the sirens call. But then during the next day, he ventures into the castle and chops off all the heads of the brides. Yes, that is very true. Return to Salem's Lot is a mess, but it's a fun mess, mainly because of Michael Moriarty. He is just, and then the Nazi hunter at the end ends up in a town of vampires. I might have to watch my movie before the watch party if I can be bothered. Yeah, that's the trouble. I have to watch it, so I know what I'm doing. But I do have the CD as well. And then the charity shop, because I had the DVD originally, and then because I got it in a pickup collection, and then I went through my collection a few months ago and got rid of all the crap ones because I was running out of room, and that was one of them. So then I had to get it back from the charity shop for like 25p, and then the CD was about the same. But they've got about 3 copies of the DVD and 3 copies of the soundtrack in there. I'm half tempted to buy them, just so I can have a massive collection of Mamma Mia. But weren't they upset about them eating the baby? Yes. If that's the baby that was earlier in the film. Although a few kids get killed off in this, but it's just off screen. Should have had Marona Arno do the home and 2 ends credits for this one too. Yeah. That would have got bums on seats. Yeah, and he burns up with the I forget what that circular stuff is. You're safe in this. I don't know what this. So he's like setting fire to the snow for some fucking reason. It's setting fire, and then you whores of Satan. Somehow, fire keeps them at bay. This is holy ground. I don't know. Doesn't really explain what's going on here. Waterstones have done a Stephen King 50th anniversary section, and on the cover of Salem's Lot, it now says now major motion picture. Nice. I've been trying to get Salem's Lot or any of the film versions covers or films, even Carrie or whatever, but they're not in charity shops, which is weird. I think I'd rather sit on a cactus than watch Mamma Mia. Well, it's for a good cause. Well, it's a tribute. I love how knackered he is after cutting the heads off and throwing them down the ravine. Damn, I forget. There was an actor they were going to get before Hopkins was cast, but as soon as he expressed an interest in doing this. They ditched him. I picture Sadie or Monica doing that, but not Monica. Yeah, have Monica Bellucci's Flash. She's got this bit here now because it's daylight, but they're racing the sunset because he's not powerful enough to take them on, even though he's sitting in his own filth. And they have reprinted The Running Man with Stephen King's name on it, and it seems suspiciously thin. It was never the biggest book. I seem to remember when I read it. Luckily, because it's not like The fucking Stand or anything. Winona's too classy for that tomfoolery. Richard Bachman will be fuming when he hears that. Yes, it'll be dark half all again. I do like this bit where she's like looking for binoculars and lifts them up really weirdly. Instead of just like pulling them down, she lifts them up. And then you got this. Excellent score. Very exciting stuff. Oh, who's that old bastard? It looks like Yoda or yogurt. Hey, there's DMC Campbell. Welcome. He's just been showing us some of his physical media on his channel. I'm amazed they bothered putting the Sailor's Not remake in the UK cinemas. I know. I haven't heard anyone talk about it other than Dr. Impossible. I saw it. It's all right. It was. If you haven't seen the other versions, it won't make any sense to you what's going on. The same when they did the TV of The Stand, of the remake of The Stand a few years ago. They just jumped all over the place, and unless you knew what was going on, you didn't have a hope in hell. There you go. So now she's raising the blue fire. Watched Jodie Foster in that HBO series called True Detective. She still hasn't lost a touch as an actress, brilliant series, a solid, intelligent storytelling. It was. I did enjoy it. I always prefer. Well, the first series is still the best, but yeah, she was very good in it. But they left a lot out, like the tongue. They find this tongue, and it's like, oh, it's very important, and then it wasn't in the end. Rutger Hauer would have been a good Helsing. I think he played him in some crappy films. Yeah, he played Dracula in Dracula 3000 or the sequel to Dracula 2000. Two of those. He was the vampire in Salem's Lot and vampire in Buffy the Vampire Killer. But I don't know if he ever played a Van Helsing type. My local Washington is flanked by the Wookiees and Weatherspoons, which is such a Stoke thing. It's almost a parody. That is. Suppose you have a bookshop. It was a mission to get through as a novel with over 1,000 pages. There you go. It. Yeah, that's right. It. It was a mission. I don't think I never read it. And I didn't read. I think I started The Sand, but I don't think I ever had the time to finish it. Anyway, I think I read the Tommyknockers. I enjoyed it, France, and saw it in the cinema, but you know me. Is Anthony related to Katie? Katie Hopkins? Hope not. God bless him. Still with us. Trailer for New Zealand made it look very dull. Yeah, I never watched the trailer, but I know people said it looked good as visually, but it didn't sell them on seeing the film. So he cut his throat and then stabbed him. Then Billy gets knocked up. I think he got stabbed in the back earlier, but he's the only one that doesn't make it out of the good guys. No, Matthew Hopkins. I don't know that one. I know the ending in the Dracula novel is different. Yes. I forget who it is that told Coppola he needs to chop the head off to give him peace. So they have to reshoot the end. Oh, add that bit on. Like was Van Helsing? There you go. In Argento's Dracula. I was trying to think. He was actually in there. Thank you. They should have killed Pennywise at the end. Hit him over the head with the massive novel. That would have been very better. Yes, it would have been a good ending. There you go. The Argento one, Shudders. Was that in 3D? I can't remember. Octopussy. That was a very different context to Dracula. And thankfully, is brilliant as Van Helsing. There you go. Thankfully, yes. Right, here we go. And then I'm not sure it's a happy ending or not. Where is my God? The trouble is this now looks like the big tapeworm from the X-Files. Don't take it out, stick it further in there. Ah, it is 3D though. That's good enough for me. There you go. I would rather have new ideas, but I love how I live in a world where it just keeps remaking the same Stephen King films over and over again. It's kind of comforting. We've had so many of his lesser books made recently that I haven't caught up with them. There, in the presence of God, I understood at last how love could release us all from the powers of darkness. No, yeah, there's a morphine scene there, so I don't believe that isn't a digital morph they used back in the day. So I'm calling shenanigans on this film. Don't think seeing Argento CGI in 3D would have helped much. Oh dear. There was a point when I went through an Argento phase, seeing all the films, but I was never a fan. I have to justify to myself buying a copy. Oh dear. How could Argento mess up a Dracula film? Even King movies regarded shitty, like, yes, Graveyard Shift and The Mangle. I watched those last month. They're two I watched on VHS back in the day, and I always liked them. But yeah, they're two fun horror films. Very gory. But ridiculous and fun. Well, sadly, James V. Hart didn't respond to me in time for a message. I asked him if he had a message for the fans, but then it was going to turn into a sly, oh, why don't you join us? Not me. The Long Work, one of Stephen King's short stories, being made into a film, which is great. Kids forced to walk at pace or be shot. Ah, there you go. I don't know if... So, yeah. Don't know how they... I guess I can see where they added that head lopping. Stick between 77 and 87, Argento, and you're safe. But what if I want to see one where his daughter's naked in it? All right, here we go. We're off. Here come the credits. And it is, 7 minutes of credits. There's Fred Fuchs. Da-da-da-dun, dun, dun, da-da-da. I can hear the fucking music. Who says you can't see pictures? Hey, but... Oh, Winona Ryder's in this. Right. Let's have a look. Michael Apted was an executive producer. And then, of course, this being such a big hit, they thought, quick, knock another one out. So we got Mary Shelley's Frankenstein next, which with Kenneth Branagh directing, which is more over the top than this film, I think. With Robert De Niro as the monster. What's it? Vampire Frankenstein. What was the third film? There wasn't a Wolfman. Was it just that Julia Roberts film? Was that Jekyll and Hyde, where she's like the housemaid? And then Tom Waits as Renfield. There you go. Michael Ballhaus as DP. Oh, Asia is nude and in 3D in Dracula. Nice. Sorry. I gave up on Argento after the Stenhal syndrome. Probably just as well. There used to be a man in my local Wetherspoon that looked much like Argento. I used to worry it was actually him. I don't think he's landed on that hard times to be in a Wetherspoons in Stoke. Don't mind Asia, but unfortunately by the time she was in his films, they were crap. See, the only thing I know her from is from Triple X with what's his name? Fast Five guy. She co-produced by James V. Hart. Trauma was pretty poor. Wolf with Jack Nicholson. Yeah, that could have been part of the Universal Monsters Renaissance. apart from all the stuff we talked about tonight, I still can't get over said he was attacked by a peacock. Yes, I was. All right, let's have a look at the cast. Octavation Kaidia, no? Priests, zookeepers. Additional puppeteers, right? Stunts. Let's have a look. I didn't see anyone. No, didn't recognize any names. Jimmy Ortega. Any relation? Trauma was actually my first Argento, but yeah, it was the start of the rot. Oh dear. Cheers, everyone. All the best. And see you on the next one. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Because, yeah, let's wrap this up because it's late. And I've got to watch the rest of Anchorman ready for tomorrow. I saw Wes Craven in Harvester once. Franz stopped the peacock thing. Yes. Last Harvester on the left. Fancy a Harvester now. The salad was pretty good. Probably, if I worked there, I probably wouldn't touch it. Right, Mr. Oldman's hairstylist and wig maker was Stuart Arsenstall. Special makeup effects by Greg Cunningham. So, yeah, get ready to take a shot if you see a copy of the name. My Miss Samori. Second assistant director is Martin Jedlicker. All right, sound design. Leslie Schatz. Oh, yeah, that's disappointing. What have we got? Not much else. Whatever a Foley editor is. Yeah. Additional sound effects. Alan Howarth, who still won't return my calls. I'm guessing that is the same Alan Howarth who did Halloween 3 soundtrack and etc. There you go. Orchestra conducted by Anton Coppola. Special vocal performances by Demanda Gallas. Assistants to Mr. Coppola, assistants to producers, publicity, American Zoetrope units. Yeah, a lot of people worked on this film. So yes, bye Andy. Thanks for joining us. I was lucky Deep Red was my first. Just need the stuntman from Willy Wonka. Oldman's hair should have been Alan Smithy. Movement for the Brides was by Michael Schumann. I think they had a mime or something in. Good movie, flawed, but brilliant pass. Yes, that's pretty good. I think Deep Red is pretty good. The entire world made this film never ending. It does seem that way. It's back in the day when they didn't have 10 minutes of CGI people mentioned. Hairstylist Lola Skip McNally from the Northern Ireland rallies, I'm sure. Right. Same with Colin Farrell speaking Alexander. I started watching Penguin. I've only 2 episodes in, but I thought it's very good. I know I don't watch a lot of gangster stuff, so a lot of it's new to me. But if you've probably seen lots of stuff like Sopranos and such, it's probably nothing special. Wonder who the Foley artist was on Beverly Hills Cop. People, get looking. Oh, bloody only Wednesday. That's Deep Fry. All right. Thank you, friends. Colin Farrell is Irish with an Irish. Yeah, right. Thanks again for turning the blue eyes. So, Exum is a song. Oh, I forgot. We got some Annie Lennox, have we? Right. I'm going to stop this. If there's... I don't see any extras on this tape. I've been lied to. Maybe it's just on the... Because the box... special edition sticker at the back of the box. But it says on the back of the box... It's a... Where is it? I've lost the bloody thing. Yeah. Hang on, something's happening. But yeah. So I don't see a difference. Apart from cases of it, but then on the back of this it says nope, that's the front. Now I've gone and bust it. No, and it says focus. Yes, Roger. Says there's a making of. There's only one tape. I've been done. So, yes, let's wish you all good night. Get to bed, people. Good night, Dr. Impossible. Bed, yes. Dr. Bed. It's a really nice song. It is a very nice song. I keep forgetting it's in the film until the soundtrack finishes. Night all. Night, friends. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Michael Mars. It's you lads that make it so well. Apart from Jamie, of course, who's welcome every time. You haven't got the jewel case version of Dracula. No. And well. I've only got the CD. But that's it for now. Thanks to everyone. Get to bed. We'll have something fun. Go out clubbing. I'll see you next time. Maybe tomorrow. Good night. Oops, I'm leaving the studio again. Bye. Nothing to play.